The Bengals beat the Commanders, and yes, it's just preseason, but there was plenty of good on Monday night. There was also plenty of bad. It's time to break it all down right now, from Joe Burrow to the defense on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Let's dive into this game. The Bengals win 31-17 over the Commanders. They're 1-1 this preseason, but there's plenty of bad. And we're going to get to the bad, I promise. But they won. It's preseason. And so let's start with the positives. And let's start with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was really good tonight. He was. Maybe he wasn't as good as he was last week when he went 9 of 10, but still finished 9 of 14, 62 yards, a touchdown. There are multiple drops in there as well. So that 9 of 14 could have easily been 11 of 14 or 12 of 14. Played pretty darn well and led 2 scoring drives, 2 touchdown drives, I should say. His only one of the game with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and the first team weapons, well, it went pretty smoothly. 9 plays, 58 yards. It ended with 2 fourth down conversions, but a fourth and goal conversion by Chase Brown. Great effort on the touchdown there. And Chase Brown now 16 yards rushing on 5 attempts, which are like, oh, well, that's not that much. But they were hard yards, good yards. And then receiving as well, I think he just had 1 catch tonight, but it was just in the mix the whole time. And that's what I like seeing. Maybe they counted that as a run. Anyway, I remember it was a throw to him early in the flat. But regardless, Chase Brown is getting touches. And so if you're buying into the Chase Brown hype, well, you should, because he's been a big factor there. And he was only in on the 1 drive. And then after that, it was Tajh Brooks and Samaje Perine. And I thought Tajh Brooks really looked the part tonight. He had a couple rough spots early in the game, but then really settled in and played well. So he is a major positive. But overall, Joe Burrow, his preseason probably over. His preseason was pretty darn solid, about as good as you can imagine. 4 touchdowns on 5 drives. He took a 17-yard sack on a play where he clearly was trying to make a play. And you hate seeing hits like that. He also was subject to a horse collar tackle. So a couple of plays there, and this is more on the negative side, right? Where you really wish, one, he would throw it away, but it's preseason. He's experimenting, and he said that afterward. This is the time to make those type of mistakes overall this preseason, and Joe better not play on Saturday against the Colts. Rumor has it that he won't, but Joe finishing 18 of 24 for 185 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a passer rating of 136.8. Heck of a preseason for Joe Burrow. I thought he looked really good, played well. One of the big plays that really could have been a huge play that set up that touchdown was a pass interference call that Jamar Chase drew. And so that connection alive and well. But really the highlight of the night goes to Mitch Tinsley. Mitch Tinsley, number 82. I've joked on here. I've joked on Locked On Bengals. He looks like Marvin Jones. Because he wears 82, he's kind of built like Marvin Jones, and he certainly played like Marvin Jones tonight. My goodness, Mitch Tinsley finishing with 5 catches, 73 yards, 2 touchdowns, had a nice spinning touchdown from Jake Browning, had a really nice grab where he tipped it to himself and was diving for it, and then had a deep ball touchdown, really took over the game in the second quarter that gave the Bengals the lead for good. It went from 14-14 to 28-14. Mitch Tinsley caught both of those touchdowns. And after the game, and this is what is so fun, well, during the game on the sideline, during the ESPN broadcast, and then after the game, Joe Burrow endorsing Mitch Tinsley, making it clear he wants him on the team. I sure hope so, Joe Burrow said when asked if Mitch secured his spot. And then during the sideline interview, just praised how smart Mitch is, how he has the ability to play everywhere, works really hard, knows what to do. And obviously that paid off for him on Monday night. There were a lot of negatives, and it's time to get into the elephant in the room, that awkward turtle in the room. And I'm not talking about the offensive line. We've talked a lot about the offensive line the past couple of days, but we're going to talk about this defense. There's a couple more positives in there as well, but the defense, not one of them. We'll get to that coming up next. This post-game report is brought to you by Win-Win Athletics. Win-Win Athletics is a company that designs the best flag football equipment on the planet. It is that simple. Make sure you check out the most innovative flag football equipment. And you literally get their flag football kit at winwinathletics.com. You can take a game of 5-on-5 anywhere, to any park, any backyard, with you on the go. Designed for simplicity and built to perform. Sounds like a win-win. Get yours at winwinathletics.com. The real estate market, yeah, it's a bit rocky right now. It's tough. Well, Christian Husky is going to keep you in line, in the fairway, and well, you're not going to be looking like the Bengals defense if you're on the market. And you could be in the market to sell, to buy, to relocate. Maybe you're just starting the search. Do it with purpose. Do it with Christian Husky. Follow him at christian.husky or visit sipsyklein.com/chusky. All right, let's get to this defense. This defense, oh my goodness. They gave up 2 touchdowns tonight. The first team defense did. 118 total yards on a whopping 7 plays. 7 plays. It's unacceptable. It's wild. It's unbelievable. And yet it's completely true. First drive, the Bengals take the lead. Defense gets it, and you look up, and it's 4 plays, 74 yards. Rodriguez, was it Rodriguez had the big run? I believe it was. Yeah, Rodriguez had the 40-yard run, much like last week when there's a big run, and you're like, what is going on? And then this week it's much worse because Jaden Daniels just walks into the end zone, gets love tapped by Jordan Battle. This was the worst play of the game. The worst play of the game was Jaden Daniels running. It's a 14-yard run, and it should have been about a 10 to 11-yard run, maybe 12 with forward progress. But he should have gotten popped. He was running straight up, and instead, Jordan just kind of love tapped him, and I don't know why. I don't understand it. Joe Burrow, I mentioned the sack he took in the horse collar. He wasn't getting love tapped on the other side, and I put that on social media, and so many people were like, it's preseason. You can't. No. He's on the football field. You're supposed to hit him. I mean, you would get hit harder in flag football, literally hit harder in flag football if you're trying to get across the goal line in that situation. And so, yeah, I was stunned there. So that happens. And then the Bengals take that sack. They have to punt. And then it was a 3-play drive. And just like that, the Commanders were up 14-7. And this first team defense, they have struggled. And Trey Hendrickson looking on. And yes, he was looking on. And boy, oh boy, are they going to need Trey Hendrickson? And they may need more than that, ladies and gentlemen, because right now it just looks, Zach Taylor was all not confident after the game, but didn't sound concerned after the game. But it's just really leaky right now. They're giving up huge plays. They're giving up chunk plays. Can't happen. And yet it's happening. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It still is preseason, but it does not feel good. It doesn't look good. There's not much to be excited about. And they got beat up on the ground. And it's like, well, Trey's a guy who's going to rush. So even there, it's not like, oh, well, your elite run stopper is coming to town and everyone fits around him. So, yeah, I think they have to figure this out. They have to figure it out in a hurry. The regular season starts on September 7th, which is 19 days from Tuesday, depending on when you're watching or listening to this. So that element it's rough. That is a rough one. And it was a rough sight. They've given up 3 touchdowns and a field goal in 4 possessions, the Bengals' first team defense has. Backups last week, backups on the second drive this week. So 2 touchdowns to backups, a field goal to the backups last week, and a touchdown to Jaden Daniels, who was without Zach Ertz and Terry McLaurin. Concerning. That is concerning. Look at the defense, and there were some bright spots. Barrett Carter with a nice interception. Tyson Anderson with a nice interception. I thought Braylon Lux played well in the second half. He stood out to me a bit. But overall, there's just not much. There was not a lot where you were like, all right, well, that stood out. That makes sense. That guy's going to – and by the way, fine. It's still preseason. If the defense is good week 1, then no one's going to remember this. But it doesn't give you confidence. That's all. And so we'll see. We'll let it play out. But keep an eye on it, which I know you do. I know we all will, because the defense was such an issue last year. I will say this, though, a big positive. Evan McPherson, a 54-yard field goal, made it in the fourth quarter during garbage time. Hey, field goals anytime matter. And Cal Adamitis was the long snapper on the attempt. Huge. He's 2 for 2 from 50 yards or 50 plus yards this preseason. Money Mac is back. This Bengals team, there's some flaws. They got to work it out. They do. But I think on offense, there were some interesting standouts. I thought Jake Browning had a pretty good night. Bounce back, had the 2 touchdowns, obviously, both to Mitch Tinsley. But overall, 16 of 25, 159. And the offense was moving better. Charlie Jones had a touchdown from Joe Burrow. I thought he played pretty well. Andre Yosevich had a couple nice catches as well. Tanner Hudson kind of came back down to earth a little bit. Could have played better, especially early on in this game. Overall, though, it was an exciting game, I'll say that. And it was certainly one where you're like, all right, well, Joe's ready. This offense is ready. Offensive line help could be on the way on Tuesday because Lucas Patrick was bad again. We'll see. We're going to have you covered every step of the way here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. Make sure that you check out bengalstalk.com. And for Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening to Cincinnati Bengals Talk.